A very good morning to our chief guest, Mr. Anil Swaroop, retired IAS, ex-Education Secretary of India, author and founder chairman of Nexus of Good, Sri S.K. Birla, President of Shikshatan Foundation, trustee members, executive committee members, managing committee members, Secretary General of Shikshatan Foundation and Sri Shikshatan School, Ms. Bratati Bhattacharya, Deputy Secretary General of Shikshatan Foundation, Mr. V.K. Agarwal, Principal, Ms. Sangeeta Tandon, Headmistress, Ms. Poshali Mukherjee, ex-teachers of Sri Shikshatan School, teachers and students. On behalf of the entire Sri Shikshatan family, it gives us great pleasure to welcome you all on this virtual platform to the celebrations of the 68th Foundation Day 2021 of our school. We, Sudiksha Basu
and Debolina Sarkar,
will take you through the program of the day.
As Sri Shikshatan School marches together, striving to build a better society, it gives us immense pleasure to announce that Shikshatan Foundation, the parent body of Sri Shikshatan School, has turned the wheel of a century.
Sri Shikshatan had its genesis as Marwari Balika Vidyalaya and started with donations and under the bold leadership of renowned philanthropists, late Jugal Kishore Birla and late Ghanshyam Das Birla, a century back in 1920 in Bada Bazar, Kolkata.
It was the pre-independence era, an era when women education was highly neglected and overlooked. In 1954, the school shifted its base to the present location at 11 Lord Sinha Road, Kolkata 700071, baptized as Sri Shikshatan School. Here, the school grew up under the nurturing guidance of veteran activist, Gandhian and social reformer, late Sitaram Seksariyaji. Today, we are extremely honored to have amongst us many eminent guests from all over the country to grace the 68th Foundation Day of Sri Shikshatan School. We cordially welcome all. We extend a warm welcome to the members of the press and media present with us today.
The vision of the Founder Fathers for a better society promoting emancipation of the girl child comes true as the students of this esteemed educational institution successfully plant themselves in all spheres of the society, the Shikshatan banner flying very high in pride. Ganesha is invoked to preside over all auspicious ceremonies, for he is the Lord of all that is benevolent, prosperous, and wise.
Following this tradition in our Indian culture, we begin the program of the day by invoking the auspicious presence of Lord Ganesha. May the Lord deliver our earth and all her beings from the malignity of the pandemic and all evil.
Ladies and gentlemen, the students of the junior school present before you the Ganesh Vandana.
समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा वक्रतुण्ड वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा।
क्षुद्रघण्टानिनादाभिरामं चलत्ताण्डवोत्तण्डवत्पद्मतालं लसत्तुन्दिलाङ्गोपरिव्यालहारं गणाधीशमीशानसूनुं तमीडे गणाधीशमीशानसूनुं तमीडे। सवीणालयोलासि वक्त्रं स्फुरच्चुण्डदण्डोलसद्बीजपूरं गलद्गर्भसौगन्ध्यलोलालिमालं गणाधीशमीशानसूनुं तमीडे गणाधीशमीशानसूनुं तमीडे। जय गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश रक्ष मां जय गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश पाहि मां जय गणेश पाहि मां।
Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh form the Hindu Trinity and are responsible for creating, protecting, and destroying the world. The merciful Vishnu, the second of the Trinity, is the protector of the world and blesses his devotees with peace and prosperity.
In the upcoming dance recital, the students of the senior section of Sri Shikshatan School have tried to showcase the beauty of Lord Vishnu through different dance forms.
Ma
शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिविज्ञानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथम् सारे ग पध स ध प ग रे सारे ग पध स नि स ध प ग रे ग पध स नि ग रे स स ध प ग स ध ध प प ग ग रे सारे ग पध स नि ग रे ध ध प ग रे सा औषधे चिन्तये विष्णुं भोजने च जनार्दनं शयने पद्मनाभं च विवाहे च प्रजापतिं युद्धे चक्रधरं देवं प्रवासे च त्रिविक्रमं नारायणं तनुत्यागे श्रीधरं प्रियसङ्गमे दुःस्वप्ने स्वरगोविन्दं सङ्कटे मधुसूदनं कामने नारसिंहं च पावके जलशालिनं जलमध्ये वराहं च पर्वते रघुनन्दनं गमने वामनं चैव सर्वकार्येषु माधवं सा स रे रे गा ग प ग ध स नि सा स रे रे गा ग प ग ध स नि सा स रे रे गा ग प ग ध स नि सा
We hope you liked the performance.
Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Nrityoma Amritam Gamaya. Lead me from the untruth to the truth, from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge. Lead me from mortality to eternity.
Light has always been a symbol for life, truth, inspiration, and benevolence. In the presence of all, we will have the lighting of the auspicious lamp.
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुदेवा महेश्वरा गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः
Shri S.K. Birla, President, Shikshayatan Foundation, has sent us his address.
Good morning, friends, and a very warm welcome to all of you to this important occasion. I would like to extend a particularly warm welcome to our esteemed chief guest, Shri Anil Swarup, IAS, an author, and to all the eminent guests, dignitaries, teaching faculty, and students present at this virtual gathering. We have not been able to meet personally because of the pandemic, and hence this virtual meeting. We want to welcome the 68th Foundation Day celebrations of our Shri Shikshayatan School. As far as the pandemic is concerned, the school has been closed for several months, and all I can say is may we overcome this global threat at the earliest, and may all be safe and healthy in this new year. 3rd January 21 marked the completion of 67 glorious years of Shri Shikshayatan School, an important part of the parent body, the Shikshayatan Foundation. As you may kindly be aware, this foundation, originally named Marwari Balika Vidyalaya Society, had been started with the donation of 2 buildings in Balabza by my forefather, the late Sri J.K. Birla, over 100 years ago in 1920. He realized that one cannot make progress in society without educating the girl child. Subsequently, the eminent and well-known social workers, the late Padma Bhushan Sitaramji Seksaria and the late Bhagirath Malji Kanoria in 1954, arranged to build and start the present Shikshayatan School, which flourished under the guidance of the educationist and philanthropist Sri Seksaria. Since then, it has moved forward greatly and now figures in the national list of girls' institutions. I would like to congratulate all the faculty and staff of the school, past and present, for this achievement. Shri Shikshayatan School today is the second home of more than 3,600 students and a large staff. The school provides holistic development of the girl child and empowers them for the life ahead. The results of our students in CBSE board exams are very motivating. Shri Shikshayatan School has won many accolades, both national and from abroad. The school organizes regular international exchange programs to facilitate a broad global perspective of its students. School heads and teachers adopt the best and innovative pedagogical practices, and the same are incorporated into their own teachings. On this occasion, I wish and pray for further continuous advancement of this institution. Once again, I welcome you all and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It is an honor and pleasure to have amongst us today our chief guest, Mr. Anil Swarup. During his career span of 38 years, Sir has attempted to make it happen. Born in Allahabad, Uttar Pradesh, Mr. Swarup earned his master's degree in political science in 1978, where he was also awarded the Chancellor's Gold Medal for being the best all-rounder student.
Before joining the Indian Administrative Service in 1981, Sir had served the Indian Police Service for a year. Mr. Swarup had won the Director's Gold Medal for the Best Officer Training at the Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration among the officers of his batch.
As a civil servant, he had held various assignments within both the state of Uttar Pradesh and the central government. During the final years of his career, Sir had served as secretary to the Government of India in the Ministry of Coal, where he had handled the aftermath of the coal scam as well.
Thereafter, he had served as the Secretary, School Education and Literacy, where he had attempted to foster public-private partnership to improve quality of school education. As a strategic thinker and innovative leader, he had won several awards and nominations, the prominent ones being nominated as one of the policy change agents by the Economic Times during the years 2010, 2012, 2015, and 2016. Sir was selected as one of the 35 action heroes in India Today's 35 annual edition.
Mr. Swaroop is the founder chairman of Nexus of Good, an initiative towards recognizing positive action and providing inspiration to the society at large to replicate them. He is also the author of the bestseller, Not Just a Civil Servant.
Sir, we are extremely glad to have you with us today. We kindly request Shri S.K. Birla, President, Shikshayatan Foundation, Shri G.K. Khaitan, Senior Most Trustee Member, and our Secretary General Ma'am, Ms. Bhattacharya, to virtually felicitate our chief guest with the ceremonial Uttoryo, a memento, and a book. These tokens of appreciation will be delivered to the residents of Mr. Swaroop.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Music is the balm for the human mind and soul. The origin of music from the beginning of civilization has been inspired by nature and the orchestra of melodies all around us. The artistic craftsmanship on the inlay in these objects is absolutely beautiful.
This year, the students of Sri Shikshayatan School have created a pictorial ode to music and musicians through their paintings of indigenous musical instruments. The title for the school calendar 2021 is Canvas Musicscape.
We would now like to request our chief guest, Mr. Swaroop, to launch the calendar 2021 titled Canvas Musicscape.
It's brilliantly done. Very well done. Wow. This is lovely. The harmonica here. Wonderful. Excellent. Excellent stuff. Very well done. Excellent.
Every year they are given a concept and they do this.
Wonderful. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We request our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Anil Swaroop, to address the virtual gathering.
Thank you very much for inviting me here. What a pleasure it is to be amidst you all. In these COVID times, it's very difficult to interact physically, but I think the virtual platform is equally good, if not better, in the sense that you get to meet so many people. But let me start by complimenting everyone involved in making this school what it is. 67 years is a very long journey. I am not that old. The school was probably established before I was even born. And you've done so wonderfully well, as your president laid out in his speech. So my compliments to all of you, and this lovely and very well drawn calendar is a testimony to the aesthetic sense that you develop in children in your school, which is phenomenal. And let me start with this, because I've always believed that music is so very critical to one's life. Jokingly, I used to tell everyone, because I was a civil servant. So since I also got into a bit of music, composing a bit of it, writing a bit of it, and when people ask me why, what brought you to music? So I used to jokingly say that instead of facing someone else's music, I might as well create my own one. And that's not the only reason. The primary reason is in this tense existence, which I think I'm so glad the children are learning at this point in time. Music acts as a balm. For me, it is meditation, because when I do sit with my guitar, I forget what is around me, and that's what meditation is all about. Totally focused on what I am doing and thoroughly enjoying the moments that we are in. And that brings me to the first point that I'd like to tell my young friends. Not so young friends, probably they're mature and they would know what to do. But the younger friends, I'd like to convey to them that what is most important in one's life is what you do in that particular moment. Unfortunately, we spend so much time on the time that has gone by, the past. And I don't think anyone can influence the past. It is done and dusted. The only relevance of the past is what you learn from what has happened in the past. Beyond it, past has absolutely no relevance because you can't change it. You can only build your future. And mind you, your future will not be built on only thinking about future, by building blocks at this point in time. So the moment that you are in is extremely, extremely important. And it is that you should try and build. You should try and start enjoying the moments that you are in. If you start enjoying your moments, your future will be built, you can rest assured. Because if you treat anything that you're doing now as a drudgery, it won't help you in future. What will help you is something which you enjoy doing, whether it's education or playing or singing, whatever. Unless you enjoy doing what you're doing, it will not build your personality. So that's point number one. The other point that I'd like to tell my young friends is that we spend so much time also on thinking about others. We find faults with them and we find reasons for our faults in them. I come from UP and there is a couplet of Ghalib, and probably some of you will understand. It goes like this: Umr bhar yahi bhool karta raha Ghalib, dhool chehre pe thi, aina malta raha. The bottom line on the understanding of this is that instead of blaming others for your own wrongs, you should focus on yourself. Why? Because you can't do anything to others. I mean, as an IS officer, I spent 37 years as an IS officer, 1 year as a police officer. And apart from the initial part of my service career, I never ever blamed others for the problems that I was facing. They may have been caused by them, but that's their problem. I am given a problem. Now my job is to see what can I do about it. I mean, I learned it the hard way as I went along in the service. In the beginning, it was very difficult to reconcile to this fact because it's very easy to blame somebody else for your problem. And then you're not doing anything to yourself. You're waiting for that somebody else to solve your problem, which doesn't happen. So if you want to succeed in life, you have to be very careful about it. You have to know very clearly that whatever happens to your life is your own making. And even if somebody is trying to make or unmake your life, you have no control over that other person. If he's helping you, take it as a bonus. But don't depend on it. Depend only on yourself. That is point number 2. The third point that I'd like to tell my young friends here is that almost everyone has failed. Everyone has committed mistakes. There's no human being on earth who has not failed at some point in time, who has not made mistakes. If you read My Experiments with Truth by the Mahatma, he admits to having committed a number of mistakes. He admits to have been a failure on a few occasions. He admits that. And that is what everyone needs to do. You must, once you make a mistake or you fail, you should not go down and out and believe that you have failed, because no failure is the final failure. What you need to do is to learn from those mistakes and learn from those failures so that they don't get repeated. The mistakes don't get repeated, and failures enable you to climb the ladder. Whether it was Mahatma Gandhi or John F. Kennedy, anybody, all of them have made failures. So don't ever go down permanently on account of 1 or 2 failures that you've had in in life. In my own life, till class 7, I remember I never won any medal or a cup or a certificate. And I used to feel very desperate. And my mother used to tell me, your time will come. Your job is to keep doing your work as well as you can. She used to quote these. I didn't understand the meaning then. It was much later in life that I realized the importance and the necessity of this couplet from Gita. Because you have absolutely no control over results. Once you get that into your mind, then you will start focusing on what you can, on your karma. Since you don't have any control over the results, why bother about it? You have control over your own karma. You have control over your own present. Focus on that and do that. Now, I'm told there are parents also attending this wonderful, wonderful annual event. And I would like to address them as well. Because what I see now as compared to when I was in the school is, it's not passing an adverse comment on anybody, but the fact of the matter is that the parents have become obsessive about their children. They want the children to excel, to come first in class. All of us are doing enormous damage to our children by pushing them in this manner, by pushing them to compete with others. Frankly speaking, I'm against this competition that's going on these days, because it puts enormous pressure on the child without realizing the fact that each child is different from the other. Why should one child compare himself with others? And it damages him much later in life because he continues to compare himself with others. Each child is very unique. What a child needs to do is to benchmark himself against himself. He has to see what he can do to himself, how he can improve, where he was, where he's become. And if he does that and doesn't compete with others, he'll start learning from others. So what we really need to do, and the parents have a very important role, is not push the child into competing with another child. Never compare and tell him he's doing so well, why aren't you doing? Because the circumstances in which these two children are existing are totally different. Never do that. But you can tell the child, look at, why don't you learn this from him? So it's a question of learning from the other child rather than competing with the other child. This is very important, and I would address this also to the teachers. Never ever bring in this competition among the children, because each child is very different. Let him benchmark against his own performances and let him improve. And that's why I've always preferred grades rather than ranks. And you read out my large biodata today, no? But you didn't read out whether I got first in class 5 or second in class 6 or third in class 7. You didn't. It doesn't matter ultimately. But when a child is growing, you push him so much that it puts enormous pressure on the child. I can go on and on, because as I jokingly tell people that now I'm doing talking, I'm not doing any walking. I have walked my distance, whatever I could. Now is the time to talk, and I give a bit of gyan to others who are prepared to listen to me. So I thought I will tell them. And finally, I'll conclude by one more remark, because I don't want to go on and on. Such wonderful performances that I saw, and I don't want to, keep speaking. There are more performances I'd like to see them. Now, the final point that I'd like to say, focus on issues over which you have control. Don't bother about issues over which you have no control. If you reflect on what you've been doing in the past, most of us get very irritated over issues over which we have absolutely no control. And since I have my young friends here, I'm sure you must be fond of cricket as well. I remember there used to be times when a particular batsman, maybe Sachin Tendulkar, played a wrong shot and India lost the match because he got out. And I used to feel very irritated about it. Why did he do that? Now, I can't do anything to Sachin Tendulkar, actually. And in any case, that's done and dusted. But I used to feel very bad about it. I remember when I had just got married, we were traveling in a car, and I used to get very irritated when I ran into these traffic jams. Calcutta and Delhi are infamous for those traffic jams. And I used to get very irritated. So one day my wife asked me, "Inka kuch kar sakte ho tum?" So I said, "I can't do anything. What can I do?" Then she asked me, "Phir apna khoon kyun jala rahe ho?" So the point that is being made here is, you should spend sleepless nights over issues over which you have control, where you can make a difference. And you can make a lot of difference. But you must understand the bottom line of what you can and what you can't. And I'll conclude by this statement of an American monk who said, "Lord, grant me the serenity to accept things I cannot change, courage to change things I can, and the wisdom to understand the difference between two." God bless all of you. And thank you very much for inviting me here and for this lovely, lovely program that you had.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your precious thoughts with us.
We now arrive at the most awaited moment, the felicitation of the teaching staff.
We would now like to request our principal, Ms. Tandon, and headmistress, ma'am, Ms. Mukherjee, to kindly conduct the proceedings of the award ceremony of the teaching staff of the secondary and the junior section, respectively.
Thank you. A very good afternoon to the esteemed chief guest, Mr. Anil Swarup, respected school president, Shri S.K. Birla, learned trustee members, members of the management and executive committee of Shri Shikshatan School, Secretary General, Ms. Bratati Bhattacharya, Deputy Secretary General, Mr. V. Agarwal, Headmistress, Ms. Pushali Mukherjee, leaders and principals of schools, our partner schools in France and Scotland, distinguished guests, members of the media, and all our very dear teachers, parents, and students who have joined us virtually today to be a part of our 68th Foundation Day celebration. Before I begin with the award ceremony, I would like to extend my gratitude to Mr. Anil Swarup for gracing this very special occasion as the chief guest. Sir, we truly enjoyed your address to our children, and not only to our students, but also to parents and to teachers. Your words of wisdom are going to be remembered by all of us. And I'm sure all are going to aspire for the best. At the same time, we will remember your Karmanyavadikaraste Ma Phaleshu Kadachan, which we also believe in. Thank you for those very beautiful words. As we celebrate the Foundation Day of our school today, it is also a time to reflect on the school's past, honor and pay tribute to those who have helped to shape who we are, and to acknowledge the community members, both past and present, for they have influenced the character and values that embody the vibrant, engaging, and safe environment we see in school today. It is an opportunity to remember and to commemorate the legacy of this renowned institution. Undoubtedly, the past year has been quite challenging for the entire world. It has brought about major changes in our way of living and rather drastic and yet interesting developments in the field of education. It must be admitted the task of adopting and adapting to the new normal was not at all easy. However, as they say, it's only in our darkest hours that we may discover the true strength of the brilliant light within ourselves that can never, ever be dimmed. We, as a family, have worked towards a successful academic session, an unusual one, but nothing short of a regular one. We have had our ups and downs in the journey, but we have emerged victorious. And the fact that we are all together to celebrate the foundation day of our school by the virtue of the virtual world is a proof of our success. The present academic session talks of the triumph of technology that has helped us wade through the pandemic storm. And yet, the wading through wouldn't have been possible without the rigorous toil of the teachers. No wonder Bill Gates had said, technology is just a tool. In terms of getting the kids to work together and motivating them, the teacher is the most important. Even though many may feel technology is literally taking over human beings, we still firmly believe the teaching fraternity will never lose its relevance. To acknowledge the hard work, dedication, and sincerity of the teachers and the administrative staff, the management of Shri Shikshatan School is going to award them today. We begin with the award ceremony with the first category, that is completion of 25 years of service in Shri Shikshatan School. The award carries a check of rupees 5,000, a 50-gram silver medal, a certificate, and a bouquet of chocolates. The awardees are Dr. Rangana Mitra, teacher of mathematics for the senior and the senior secondary section. Miss Jayashi Chakravarti, the backbone of our home science department. Miss Samita Banerjee from the Home Science Department as well. Miss Ruma Daw, Biology Lab Assistant. We move to the next category, the Best Class Teacher Award. This award also carries a check of Rs 5,000, a silver medal of 50 grams, a certificate, and a bouquet of chocolates. The selection of the teachers for this award is on the basis of an appraisal by the awards committee and digital feedback from the students on a scale of 5. Now here, we are talking of class teachers who are approachable, firm yet patient, and have helped students resolve issues, more so when interaction has been totally virtual and not physical. Their ability to reach out to every student of their class speaks volumes about their commitment and sincerity as teachers. So let's begin from the middle school. From the middle school, we have Miss Saleha Khan, a teacher of social science and the class teacher of 8F. Ms. Khan received a score of 4.863. From the senior school, that is classes 9 and 10, it is Ms. Maumita Mishra who receives the Best Class Teacher Award. She's a teacher of English and the class teacher of 9E. Ms. Mishra received a score of 4.78. And from the senior secondary section, that is classes 11 and 12, it goes to Ms. Mehrush Akhtar, a teacher of sociology and the class teacher of 11G. Ms. Akhtar received a score of 4.737. Congratulations to the 3 teachers. The biggest challenge for any teacher is capturing students' attention and conveying ideas effectively enough to create a lasting impression. The need of the hour when online classes are being conducted and students are at home is to adopt such teaching tools that excite young minds and stimulate creativity in them. In our next category, Digitech Award 2020, we acknowledge the efforts of one such teacher who has a quest for knowledge and zeal for upgrading her skills at all times. This teacher of physics enthusiastically introduced Kahoot, Nearpad, and other apps in her class to make her online classes interactive, innovative, and interesting for her learners. Today, she receives a check of Rs 6,000, a silver medal of 50 grams, a certificate, and a bouquet of chocolates. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly put your hands together for Ms. Shweta Verma. Congratulations, Ms. Verma. In the next category, Extraordinaire Award 2020, we appreciate the efforts of such individuals who have not only accepted and adapted to this new system, but also performed their duties with utmost dedication. In this category, the awardee receives a 50-gram silver medal, a certificate, and a bouquet of chocolates as a token of appreciation. Out of the 2 awardees, the first to receive is a teacher of computer science. She is self-motivated. In the month of April 2020, amidst adverse prevailing situation, she guided not just her students, but faculty members as well in digital teaching learning. She went beyond the call of duty to help others and thereby help the school to march ahead. And this teacher is none other than Miss Antara Ghosh. Congratulations, Ms. Ghosh. The pandemic has resulted in a paradigm shift in education and given rise to a situation where not just a teaching learning, even administrative duties required a new level of commitment. Under this category, we would like to acknowledge the efforts of Mr. Vijay Kumar Gupta, Manager, Accounts and Finance of Sri Shikshatan School. During the entire period of lockdown, he worked tirelessly to ensure the staff members of Sri Shikshatan School faced no difficulty. The going has not been easy, yet calmly he has been working to keep the school moving financially ahead. Thank you, Mr. Gupta. To conclude, I would like to say that amidst the threat and anxiety the world is facing, there are ever stronger signs of hope and solidarity, a sense of and desire for togetherness. We have fought the battle with unprecedented resilience. It has strengthened in us the hope that we are unstoppable when it comes to educating the young minds. It gives us the courage to dream for a better future. So we pray, may this new year bring good health and happiness to all. I would now like to request the headmistress, Ms. Poshali Mukherjee, to announce the names of the awardees from the junior section. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good afternoon to our chief guest, Shri Anil Swarup, our president, Shri S.K. Birla, esteemed members of our management, our very special guests from all over the country, teachers, parents, and our dear students. On a personal learning today, let me just speak to Mr. Swarup and tell him, my take home today will be, "Khoon nahi jalayenge." We will remember these words, such inspiring and motivating ones in these difficult times. We begin with the awards for the junior school. We will first have the 25 years completion award, followed by the best class teacher award. When children speak about their class teachers, they feel that theirs is the best. So it is always extremely difficult to decide on the best class teacher category. This time, one of our very important stakeholders, the parents, have participated in an online poll, and the contest was extremely close. The Certificate of Achievement is being awarded to Ms. Mahashita Chatterjee of the junior section for successful completion of 25 long years of sincere and dedicated service to our school. She joined our school on the 2nd of January 1995, 25 years back. She will receive a silver medal and a check of 5,000 rupees, along with a certificate and a chocolate bouquet. Congratulations, Mahashita ma'am. Based on the online poll, the Certificate of Excellence for the best class teacher for the primary section is being awarded to Ms. Devjani Datta. She will receive a silver medal and a check of 5,000 rupees, along with a certificate and a chocolate bouquet. Ms. Datta has joined our school on the 13th of January, 2011. Devjani is being rewarded for outstanding contribution in education. We have another award in the same category, and the award goes to Miss Anshika Anand for her outstanding contribution in education. Miss Anand joined our school on the 1st of April, 2013. She will also receive a silver medal and a check of 5,000 rupees, along with a certificate and a chocolate bouquet. With that, we come to an end of the Junior School Awards. Thank you all.
Thank you, Principal Ma'am. Thank you, Headmistress Ma'am. We request the Secretary General of Shikshatan Foundation and Sri Shikshatan School, Ms. Bhattacharya, to kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
A society grows great when old men plant trees whose shade they know they shall never sit. Ladies and gentlemen, this Greek saying is germane to the vision of the founder fathers of Sri Shikshatan School. Revolutions in our world do not always involve countries at war. Sometimes they are economic, societal, or both. One such revolution happened in 1920. Educating a girl child was inconceivable by the society at large. The parent body of Sri Shikshayatan School, Shikshayatan Foundation, with the objective of armoring girl child, established educational institution, and they are Marwari Balika Vidyalaya in 1920, 1954 Sri Shikshayatan School, 1955 Sri Shikshayatan College, 2008 we had the Calcutta Business School because they realized education is empowerment. Sri Shikshayatan School confidently scales heights and is ready with all the 21st century skills. The school ensures that girls are ready to face all kinds of challenges of life undaunted, having the right kind of attitude, determination, and modesty. Quality, what we think of, we always think of transformation because we realize that every resource can be transformed, and we look towards having a happy educational institution. As we assemble on this virtual platform to observe the 68th Foundation Day, we pay respect to our forefathers of the school and pay gratitude apart from celebrating Sri Shikshayatan School's birthday. Our respect goes to Sri J.K. Birla, Sri Chiji Birla, Sri Sitaramji Saksaria, and many other sculptors as well. For these wise men, if they had not planted the tree of education, we would not have enjoyed its protective shade. Honorable Chief Guest, dignitaries, students, staff members, and guardians, a very, very good afternoon to all of you. I express my gratitude to our esteemed chief guest, Mr. Anil Swarup, retired IS, the founder chairman of Nexus of Good, author of Not Just a Civil Servant, and also Ethical Dilemmas of a Civil Servant. I met Mr. Swarup in 2017 when he was the Secretary of Education. And this was at Merchant Chamber of Commerce. And I heard him personally. I found him to be passionate, transparent, a very, very forthright person. And since then I have been interacting with him, and it was very unusual of a bureaucrat, replying to mails and also replying to WhatsApp messages. Thank you so much. Thank you. You must all know that yes, apart from being a school education, he was also the one who started the e-auction of coal. And also his name goes very much with Rashtriya Shastra Bima Yojana. He is the man behind this. We would remember your words that we need to do our karma. The results will follow. We need not break our head on that. So that keeps us moving. Thank you so much for your zealous words. And I'm sure the young children will ignite their minds with your perception and thinking. And I'm sure they would also be motivated to read your book and also your website, The Nexus of Good, to do and recognize good people for their good work, and they become constructive citizens. I must also share this with you that I was there for launching of his second book, and he asked me whether I have read the book or not. Yes, not the complete book, but I have read part of it. And I must share this with you that yes, he tried being a singer when he was with IIT Kanpur, and he also was a great debater. And there's many more things that, you will, when you read through the book, you will know about him, how he has stood for the truth, and he has actually come up successful. So the ethics, the ethical consideration while we work. Thank you so much. Our president, Sri S.K. Birla, is always there with us, and I thank him for his constant support and guidance. I thank our vice president, Mr. Siddharth Birla, and our oldest trustee member, Mr. G.K. Khaitan. I also thank all the trustee members, EXCOM members, school management committee members, and all other dignitaries who have always supported us and strengthened that the school reach its current height. I express my thanks especially to our own team, our Deputy Secretary General, Mr. Vinod Agarwal, our principal, Mrs. Tandon, our headmistress, Mrs. Mukherjee. I thank all the guests who have joined us from various places within the country and outside the country, representing various institutions and alumni who have made this program a very, very unique one with their presence. Recognizing the outstanding work of the staff members started about 6 years back, and I sincerely congratulate all the awardees for their persistence and determination. I also congratulate each and every staff for collaborating and rising to the occasion of the cause of education in the most dire times of contemporary history. I owe my hearty thanks to the organizers of the program who have planned it so meticulously with so much of care to make the celebration a beautiful one. I must express my appreciation for the two MCs, Shudiksha and Debolina, for doing such a great job. I congratulate each and every participant of the cultural program. Some of them were done at their own homes. Some of them made, convenient to drop in the school and also, dance here. To make this 68th Foundation Day well organized. I thank our budding artists for contributing to this beautiful calendar, Canvas Musicscape 2021, which is a pictorial tribute to the indigenous Indian musical instrument. Every year, we give them a theme and a concept, and they contribute for the school calendar. Students, I thank all of you on behalf of the management. I also take this opportunity on this virtual platform to thank all the parents, guardians who, in spite of multitasking, the race of the clock, are sharing the responsibility along with us, supporting all the students, particularly in this academic year. I thank the members of the print and the electronic media who have always cooperated to attend our program and have given the school a wide coverage, Classic Printers and Surika stores. I will be failing in my duty if I do not express my gratitude to all the support staff who contributed their share for the welfare of the school, even during the difficult times like the cyclone Amphan and the lockdown. Once again, I thank each and everyone for being here and for making this day a wonderful one. Well, every year after this program, we join for lunch, but this year being very unique, we cannot do that. But yes, we hope that the day will come very, very soon. Stay safe, stay with a good health, and I wish a very, very happy new year, a hopeful year, and a progressive year. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Swarup, for being with us. We will now have the last bit of the program. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
We shall conclude the ceremony of the day with the school song, followed by the national anthem.
Marching together,
मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल गंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गावे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you, everyone. On behalf of the entire Sri Shikshatan family, we wish you all a very healthy and joyful year ahead.
Thank you.